What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Steelers Nation? It's your boy, Sim Football Critic Man, and welcome to the latest episode of the Terrible Towel Tuesday. I was about to say the Terrible Towel Podcast, but that's not the name of it. It's Terrible Towel Tuesday. And you guys know, after the games, we always do the Terrible Towel post-game show. So I kind of got a little tongue-tied in there. Almost said the wrong name or what have you. But welcome, guys. Boy, we got a lot to talk about today, man. And I see you guys are up in here early and often. I see 30 people already watching. I appreciate that. I'm going to give you guys an early round of applause. Appreciate you guys, man, for being up in here, getting ready to talk. Let me say this at the beginning of the show, man. If we have an opportunity later on tonight, I want to offer you guys the chance to give a call. And maybe if we don't do it tonight, because I know, Kenyon has spoke to me earlier, said he wanted to come on. I see Kenyon is on now, so if we can get a chance to get that done, Kenyon, let's do it. If not, let me say this in the beginning, guys. Let's do this. Starting next week, unless Kenyon wants to come on, but starting next week, I want to definitely have you guys call in, excuse me, either to the Terrible Towel, post-game show or Terrible Towel Tuesday. It really would be great for the post-game show. So if you guys want to hold off until Monday night, we could do that. That's going to be a late one. So what I may actually do, I haven't decided yet, man, but I know some of you guys have expressed that you wanted me to try to watch the game and do a live stream that way. That'd be kind of dope. We may get that done one day. But let's shoot for the next post-game show to get some of you guys to call in, man. And, the way we want to do it, I want to definitely have it kind of structured, man, where, you guys call in, just like how you might listen to the Cook and Pony show or, Tunch and Wolf, have you guys call in, say your piece really quick, and then we move on to the next one. Obviously, I won't be able to take 100 calls, but basically I would love for this to be more interactive, more so than just the chat. And the way we'll do it, guys, I think the easiest way for me to do it is Skype or maybe Discord. So I'm looking into those options. Skype is how I do it right now on on Thursdays when we do our Sim Standard podcast, which is not Steeler related, but that's how me and my partner Smitty, how we talk on that particular podcast. But I'm trying to find the best way. So right now I'm looking at Skype or Discord, but just putting it out there. I want to get that started as soon as possible, man, because I want this to be more interactive, and I want to hear you guys' frustrations and things like that. And we'll get this thing, give you guys the opportunity to have your voices heard instead of just your text read. You know what I mean? So, want to definitely extend that invitation. Let's jump right into it, guys, because right now we're looking at, I tell you what, Kenyon, either one works better for me, but I tell you what we'll do, because I talked to Tony. Tony definitely wants to come on. Tony said he's going to create a Skype account. Let's do that on Monday. If you guys are cool with that, let's lock you guys in for the post-game show. That one's going to be interesting. It's going to be right after the game, and it'll be later that night. But let's lock you guys in for that night. We'll give both of you guys a call in, and maybe if someone else wants to call in, let's lock that down so you guys can kick that off. So we'll get that locked in and planned. I'll make sure I already got your Skype information, Kenyon. Tony, like I said, man, if you want to go ahead and create your Skype, or I'm going to check the next couple days. Maybe Discord might be better. That's another, service where you could basically chat with each other. So we'll see what's going to be the best option, but let's nail that down on Monday. So we'll do it like that. So I won't take too much time away from you guys tonight, because this show is typically the shorter show. The post game show is where we just have at it. So we'll go ahead and shoot for Monday. All right, man, let's talk about a couple things, man. My nose is itching, guys. Bear with me. I may sneeze or cough or something during the show here. I don't even know where to begin, man. Let's start with Antonio Brown. First and foremost, listen. Antonio Brown is a grown man, okay? I'm going to say that for a couple different reasons. For one reason, I'm a grown man also, and I'm not going to sit around talking about another grown man and how he acts. He's a grown man. He can do whatever he wants. The second reason why I'm going to say he's a grown man is I have to use that slightly against him. AB, come on, man. Listen, you are a phenomenal football player. You're probably going to go down as one of the best Steelers football players on the field. We probably can go ahead and say that's going to happen. he has been one of my favorite Steelers on the field because I think the guy is amazing. You know, thinking about where he started, right? The low round draft pick. You know, his first touch was a touchdown, which I saw an interesting stat, man, how they receivers have I think they showed Antonio Brown, I want to say it was Juju, might have been Martavis Bryant, and James Washington. Kind of crazy how all four of them, their first touch was a touchdown. But anyway, Antonio Brown, you know, we know he gets the kickoff return, and then he just became that special guy from that point on, from that time against the Ravens when he catches the ball on his helmet. You know, the dude has just been special. Kick returning, punt returning, any type of route, you know, hands. You know, I'm even getting hit in the head. Like, think about the game against Cincinnati. I think that was last year, but when he caught, you know, the ball in the end zone, and Ioka, like, tried to knock his head off. You know, the hit that he took from Burfict, never dropped the ball. You see what I'm saying? It's just these type of things, man. It's like he has become one of my favorite Steelers of all time on the field. Off the field, listen, you a grown man. Okay, I understand you're frustrated and all that, but bruh, here's my only beef I got with AB. We know what social media is all about. We know what social media is trying to do. They're trying to get a story, first and foremost. I'm talking about regular people, right? And then on top of that, you're going to get the mainstream media is going to run with the story. They're going to run with it. I even heard on NFL Network today where, you know, they were reading the comments from Rosenhaus, I believe that's the name of his agent. And, you know, he was saying, let's put this behind us. This is dead. Let's stop talking about it. And then right after that, the guys on NFL Network or whatever, or NFL.com was like, no, we're not going to stop talking about it. This is a story. This is my exact point. Okay? You know these things are going to be a story. Did we not learn, or did you not learn from the Facebook situation? Come on, AB. You know what I'm saying? I just need you to be a little more mindful of that. Now, the guy who said something, you know, a former PR person that worked in the organization, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is your motivation for saying the things that you said about Antonio Brown? In case you guys didn't see it, to sum it all up in a nutshell, man, the dude pretty much said that if it not for Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown wouldn't have the career that he has. He wouldn't be as good as he is now. Okay, then they also dug up some comments that, you know, they got from Emmanuel Sanders, that Emmanuel Sanders said, I remember when he said this, and I think he might have said it, you know, a little more recent, where he said that, you know, being the number 2 guy is tough in Pittsburgh because, you know, AB is going to get his touches. Ben is going to feed him the ball. I don't think many of us can argue with that, because how many times we screaming and yelling at Ben for forcing the ball to Antonio Brown like he did in the Cleveland game and Denzel Ward on the first pick, right? So, but still, I don't understand the angle by that guy, right? I get that, and I get it, AB. This is just some chump, you know, and I say that loosely because I don't know the guy, but I'm just using figure of his speech. This is just some chump, you know, trying to rile you up, saying what he want to say. You know it ain't true. Let that slide. Because you know when you respond, and granted, I've as a man, I understand him responding to the cat, but you know what that's going to turn into, my brother. Let that go. Let that slide. That's all I'm saying. You don't need to do that, B. You feel what I'm saying? So that's just my thoughts on that. You know, you got to let that slide. And I hate to have to say this about Antonio Brown, but I got to. He's selfish, man. He's selfish. Now, you know, supposedly now there's, here's where it gets interesting. There's some people who had ears around the situation that heard him, you know, he's complaining about not getting targeted down the field, or, you know, the Steelers not taking many shots down the field. I get it, but at the same time, you got to understand, dude, you are going to command a lot of attention as well. Even on the deep shot that Ben threw to him that he missed down the left side, there was 2 guys covering him then. I mean, Ben would have had to make a perfect throw to get it in there. We've seen that happen before, but you got to understand that you're going to command attention. It's almost a sign of respect where if you're not, we're not able to get you the ball so much because they got 2 or 3 guys on you, let the rest of the guys eat. Let Juju eat. Don't be upset about that. Like, your money is solidified. You know, you're under contract. And I've doubt very seriously that the Steelers are going to cut him before he lives out that contract or gets the majority of it. So point I'm making here is, at his age, it could be very well the last big contract. Your money is in the bag. That bag is secured. The bag is secured. So you don't have to be, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that. If you ain't getting the amount of touches or whatever, it ain't like the Steelers going to cut you because you ain't performing. Now, you know, I can't say that 100%, but you're going to perform. You're still, whether you're putting up the ridiculous numbers or not, you're still a commanding force on that offense, and you still going to eat. He got to stop being selfish, man. And then also, they had video on NFL Network. The one play, I can't remember which play it was, but it was when we were down in the red zone, and they got video of Ben like kind of waving Antonio Brown off, and you know, they claim, according to the reading the lips, that he said stop being a baby or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if that's what it was. It could just be the relationship they have on the field. They cool afterwards. I don't know. It could be a rift there. Who knows? All I'm saying is, come on, stop being selfish, and you have to think before you act. During this time, during the losses, during the whole Le'Veon Bell not being there, it's too much turmoil going on for you to pile on to that. So, my brother, I doubt if you see this, but hey, I'm going to speak it into existence like the world's going to see my videos. My brother, I'm talking to you. I'm looking right at you. Ball out. Stop letting these dudes poke the bear, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let that go. It means nothing. All right, now, so where else do we want to start, guys? Let's talk about Coach Tomlin really, really quick. I'm going to say something quick about Tomlin, then we're going to get off of that. I'm going to leave it at this. Whether you hate or love Mike Tomlin, I don't think I'm going to dive into those conversations no more. It's clear that some people don't like him. They never will. And it's clear that some people love him to death, and they are defending anything he does. I look at everything objectively, and I look at everything from a factual standpoint in terms of what appears to be facts to me, just based on how people operate. Has he lost the locker room? No, I do not believe he's lost the locker room. We're talking about one guy, okay? I'm seeing media people and, you know, other people just commenting saying, well, look at how they're handling the Le'Veon Bell situation. That's contract stuff. Ain't got nothing to do with Tomlin. And is Le'Veon Bell handling the situation the best way he could? I mean, my boy living it up. I ain't mad at him on the jet skis and everything. Hey, it'll be nice. I would love to be in a position in life where I could pass on $855,000 a week. I would love to be. So I don't feel bad for Le'Veon Bell. He's able to do that. Do what you got to do. Like I said, I've moved on past Le'Veon Bell in terms of him being important to the Steelers. The only reason why he's important right now is because we all assume if Le'Veon Bell was in the fold, he could help us towards a Super Bowl. Bruh, we so far away from that right now in week 2. I ain't thinking no Super Bowl right now. I need to see a lot of changes. I'm not thinking Super Bowl at all, so Le'Veon Bell is really not even in my line of sight at the moment. I ain't worrying about that. But it's just crazy to see all of these narratives that are always trying to be spun on Mike Tomlin, who has, I mean, his winning percentage speaks for itself. Yes, I don't agree with everything they do, him included. I'm going to talk about a little bit of that tonight. But that's it. You know, and like I said, I'm not even going to do that song and dance no more because it's ridiculous. So I'm not even going to go down that road. Y'all won't hear me talking like that no more. If you hate him, great. If you love him, great. Whatever. I do think that he's in an awkward situation, though. I mean, I know some people tried to poke fun at his conference by him just saying, listen, I'm not trying to paint with a broad brush. Man, I got to give Tomlin credit for at least holding it together in the public throughout this offseason and now into the turmoil that he's facing right now with, you know, AB acting up, because he never cracks. He never cracks and feeds into what the media is trying to do. So you got to give him credit there. So that's really all I got on that piece. Y'all want to see some All-22? It worked last week, guys. You know, so far so good. I didn't get in any trouble, so I'm going to pull up a couple of these plays. Let me just let y'all know about this. I looked at so much of this footage. I'm going to keep looking at it. Let me give you a brief summary. You got to blame both the coaches and you got to blame the players. Shout outs to all of you guys who left comments on my first video, you know, from the post game, you know, giving me your explanation why you have to blame the coaches. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, because that's really all I wanted. I wasn't trying to blame people for saying it was the coaches, and I wasn't trying to blame people for saying it's all players. My whole point was that I want to hear some real meat. Like, give me some real information. Don't just say it's the coaching. Like I said, this is not to make fun or poke fun at anybody. But the perspective I come from is I speak to everybody. You know, whether you are a novice in football, a casual fan, a casual Steeler fan, a diehard. But my mindset is always coming from more of the knowledge-based side. You understand what I'm saying? So I love to hear dialect and, you know, dialogue. Dialogue actually is the right word I should use there. I like that dialogue between myself and others of, you know, educated opinions. And when I say educated, I mean you kind of looking at, you know, looking at what's happening on the field or looking at film or whatever, and you're saying this is the problem. And I appreciate you guys that enlighten me with a lot of information on where you feel the coaches are suffering. There's a lot of articles out there. Shout outs to Alex Kazor, man. I know I talk to Alex sometimes on Twitter. He writes for Steelers Depot. He's a gamer as well, so we kind of had that connection. And he does a great job breaking down football. And this guy's fairly young, man. Alex is like 24, 25, something like that. But he broke down the predictability of Keith Butler's defense, and that's the stuff I want to hear from people. It's like, oh, okay, maybe I didn't catch that. You see what I'm saying? I like it to be dialogue based. Again, I'm just the source here. I don't know everything. I rely on a lot of you guys. You know what I'm saying? So we have our conversations together. So let's take a look at the film, man. I'm gonna show you a couple things, but again, before I show it, guys, there was a lot of mismatch problems. Matchup problems that created mismatches, and there were just situations where I felt like the players didn't do what they were supposed to do. So the blame goes on everybody. Let's take a look, man. We got to run through this kind of quick, guys. I have to do it quick. Y'all know the obvious reasons, man. And what I might start doing, guys, maybe I might start putting up some footage on my website where it's not monetized. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I think this format seems to be working pretty cool. So let's see. So let's run through a few of these plays. I think the first play I'm showing is the very first touchdown. So here we go. And let me blow this up a little bit so you guys can get a better look at it. All right. So what we're looking at here, guys, is the first touchdown. Now, of course, you can't see everything here, but, you know, what I'm kind of illustrating there, guys, with the cursor is it looks like this was converted into what I believe to be, I can't tell. It looks like it was supposed to be cover 3 or maybe cover 3 match, because, you know, the #1 receiver over here, obviously, you know, Artie is going back. You know, if you're in a cover 3 or a trail technique, you're going to turn this into man, of course, if this is the #1 and if he goes vertical. He doesn't go vertical. Artie goes here. So, again, like I said, let's start this over. I'm going to cut it off and start it over again because I can't rewind it once I have it recorded. But I got confused because it doesn't look like cover 3 coverage, because in that case, Artie Burns should not have gone that far back. But maybe he went that far back because he realized that this guy is wide open. Now let's pay attention to Mike Hilton right here. One of you guys pointed this out to me as well. I appreciate that. Look at what Mike Hilton does here. Okay? He doesn't, where is he going? This is already blown. It's already a blown coverage. There's no way Artie Burns is going to get there, and there's no way this guy's Artie Burns' responsibility. So see, I blamed Artie, even though Artie didn't have a great game. But what is Mike Hilton doing? Even if this is zone coverage, you should reroute this guy, but you probably should follow him. Okay, you should probably go vertical with him unless they're in a zone in which they have the inside nickel, you know, come out here and play the flats. That's the only way it makes sense. But Mike Hilton didn't do either. And again, the Steelers do a lot of disguising guys, and because that just looked like broken coverage to me, I can't tell what it developed into. But we do a lot of disguising. I've even seen in some of this footage where we ran cover 6, I even saw an invert coverage, right? But like I said, I don't know exactly what we were doing there to tell. Now, here's the other touchdown to Kelsey, right? And what I was circling there, I hope you guys saw it, there was no reroute by Vince Williams. Vince Williams didn't reroute Kelsey inside. They're letting these guys run freely. I don't understand it. Now look at this play. This is the one, the third touchdown. Terrell Edmonds has got to make this play, man. He's got to make this play. Got to make the play. Now get it. I get it. I get it. Sometimes you miss tackles. I get it. But you got to make this play. And I illustrated here. I paused it. He's tackling up way too high. It's not going to happen. Now, these two plays play very close attention to this. 5 wide, and we're going to blitz both Hilton right in here and Edmonds, which is going to create man on the back end, right? And look at how this transpires, okay? They streak Tyreek Hill, back shoulder throw, beats Artie Burns, cool. Now look at this second play. This didn't go for anything, but look what they did differently. We ran the same blitz, and they made a change. They stopped Tyreek Hill here, and they got Sammy Watkins matched up on TJ Watt. Look at this. If Mahomes makes that throw, it's another touchdown. You see that? And it's crazy because it was the exact same play, and we ran the same play. Blitzed the same two guys. Why was TJ Watt out there? Now, this is the last play I'll show you guys, man. And like I said, I'm going to have to figure out a better way to be able to stop and rewind and all of that. Maybe what I'll start doing is capturing the window in the stream software, and we'll do it like that. Maybe we'll try that next week. But look at this. This is letting you know that there's no chemistry yet with Switzer and Big Ben, okay? Switzer is supposed to read blitz and know that he's the hot read and look back at Roethlisberger. He never looks back at Big Ben. If he looks back, he can keep upfield. And Ben can hit him for an easy 10, 15 yards if he just keeps upfield. Look at this. Ben is looking at him the whole time. I mean, from the snap. Ben reads blitz. Switzer needs to be looking in to read that blitz. He could go right upfield. Guys, that would have been an easy pickup. And that was 3rd and 3 when it was 28 to 35, okay? It's little stuff like that, and it's multiple plays like that, but little things like that that I noticed. Here's the coaching critique I have. Are you using your personnel the best you could? Okay? I saw too many times where there was Vince Williams and both Bostic on the field at the same time in passing situations. I understand that, listen, the name of the game is catch a defense in the wrong defense. We do it all the time. It's been times where we've caught people, we're in 11 personnel, and we catch them in a more of a big package, and our slot guy like Juju or somebody's able to eat. We do it also, which is also the reason why Ben runs no huddle when he finds something he likes. But it was too many times, again, where I saw Bostic and Williams, and guess who we haven't seen yet? And I don't even know if he was active, but now we need to start evaluating and say, look, man, maybe we need to get Matthew Thomas on the field in some of these situations, only because he's 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", and faster. Maybe, in your early week evaluation, maybe you bring him in situationally and say, listen, if they run a streak with Kelsey, run with him. You follow him. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. Again, let me shoot the coaches a little bit of bail. I don't know what percentage of them showing, what we need to do versus the percentage of the player not understanding it. Again, there was a great article, man, on SteelersDepot.com by Alex Kazur where he was saying you got to blame them both. But the players have to execute, but at the same time, he doesn't know whether it's the scheme. Are we keeping it too vanilla so it's simple for these guys? Do you not trust them? Or is it Keith Butler himself just not willing to push the limit. I don't know. Like I said, guys, I did see some times where I felt like there was some predictable coverage, but I saw other things in the all 22 footage. I saw match coverage. I saw straight up zone. I saw invert. I think I saw a cover 6 at one time. So I don't know what it is, but I will say this. We got outcoached in terms of the Chiefs able to scheme against us and catching us in situations where we got bad matchups. TJ Watt on Sammy Watkins, any day of the week, I take it. No disrespect to TJ Watt, but obviously that is a mismatch. How many times did we see in that game where the Chiefs would split guys out and you would see Bostic having to go out like he's in the corner position? Again, a good team like the Kansas City Chiefs that has weapons everywhere will make that happen to you, but you have to adjust to it at some point in the game. Now, the last thing I'll say about that, I did see some plays as well when we were in straight up man, and it seemed to work better for us. Like, there was a couple plays, especially the one when we got a little bit of pressure and Cam Haywood, hit Mahomes. That was match coverage. If you go back and look at that one, it started off as cover 3, and then it looks like they did cover 3 match because everybody was following their man. Number 1 goes vertical. The outside cornerback took him. The curl flat guy would, turn his into a vertical if he went vertical. I mean, I saw it in action, and I was like, okay. Now, I know some of that terminology. I know everybody doesn't know a lot of that. That's why I'm keeping it very simple there as well. But I saw a lot of different coverages. We threw man out there. We threw zone out there. It just wasn't working. And like I said, when it comes to that, did we call the right plays at the right time? I don't know. I wouldn't have preferred Keith Butler to blitz both safeties in an empty set situation. And he did it consecutively. Remember, those 2 plays were back-to-back. Let's run it again. And when we get there, I'll tell you when we're there again. Those plays were back-to-back. Can't do that. You feel me? You can't do that. So let's look at it one more time here, guys, and we'll go through it. And then I'll give my quick thoughts, man, on, what I think we're going to need to do against these Buccaneers on Monday night. And I'm definitely going to look over here and see what you guys got. Wow, we're already at 30 minutes, man. So I'm going to try to keep this under 40. So we'll get through this fairly quick. But again, man, look right here. Mike Hilton. No reroute. I mean, even if this is zone coverage, you don't let this guy run straight up the field. Okay? This guy here, which I believe is either Edmonds or Burnett. I'll have to go back and look at the number. You're supposed to jump him. But look at how many people are around Kelsey. And then you have Sean Davis here favoring that side because, Hill is over there, which I don't know if Hill is a huge threat this close to the end zone in terms of speed. So I don't know if you need to give that much help coverage over there, over the top. Just crazy. And right here, this was the second one here. Look at this. Vince Williams doesn't get a jam or a reroute or anything. And look at how much pressure you're putting on your safety right here. This looks like cover 2 because the corner is playing here in the flats. He might be doing like a cloud flat right there, possibly. Doesn't look like a hard flat. And this was just showing you how, Mahomes was getting the ball out there so fast. And then this one, this is straight man. Now look at what I'm saying. Look at everybody. They're on their guys. Okay, they're in pretty good position here. Everybody's just got to win their battle, which is the reason why Mahomes chucked it down. And at this point, Edmonds, you have to make the tackle, my man. Got to make the tackle, brother. I hate to beat you up like that, but you have to make the tackle at this point. All right? So again, here's the first play. Look at this. We're going to blitz Hilton, and we're blitzing Edmonds right here. It's going to leave man here, man there, man, man. Man across the board. Got Bud Dupree on a delayed blitz, but he didn't blitz this time. Artie Burns just gets beat. Great back shoulder throw. Now look, same exact play. This was right after. You can see the sequence here. Here's Bud Dupree on a delayed blitz. Same situation, but what they did is they froze their outside guys. They made them run more of a hitch to freeze the corners, and you get the matchup of your life. TJ Watt against Sammy Watkins. Wow. And then here it is again, guys. Look at this. Ben is watching him the whole time. Come on, Switzer. They're just not on the same page. You see, if that's AB or somebody in the slot right there, he's going to read that. Think about back in the day when Heath Miller always knew. You remember that? Heath always looked back inside when he could read the blitz. Switzer has to read this. There's nobody here. But Switzer sits down, like he sits down in the middle of the field as if he's expecting zone. And Ben is probably expecting him to go out. Because again, once Ben noticed that he wasn't looking back at him, now he's got to guess where the ball needs to be. Right? And Ben throws it outside while Switzer sat, you know, like they would say, you sat in the zone. But there's really no zone there. It's wide open. Look at all that green grass. That's a first down and much more. It was 3rd and 3 right there. Down 28-35. Tough situation there. But all right, guys, I think that's about all I got in terms of that stuff. Let me quickly give you my thoughts on what we're going to have to do against the Bucs. The Buccaneers are going to throw that football, man. We know what Ryan Fitzpatrick is all about. He's going to throw the football. I don't foresee them running the football too much. They may do that to set up the pass, but you know, I think we did fairly decent against the run, but obviously the Chiefs didn't have to run the ball that often. Again, we're going to have to be on our keys. We have to be on our keys. They're going to throw the ball, and they're going to throw it early and often. Fitzpatrick has not been shy about that. Not going to say too much about our offense outside of the fact that we got to start a little faster. Okay? And I want to give respect to someone else who commented to me on the other show. I have to say touche, because he said, you know, you were saying that we don't know what the coaches are doing and such, but then you said that Fichtner needs to open the playbook up. Like I said, touche. I get it. However, I think most of us watching the Steeler offense can tell when it's something we haven't seen before. Right? Like, for example, the plays where we're handing the ball off to Switzer. That's new. We don't really see that out of a Steeler offense. But a lot of the other stuff that I'm seeing so far looks like the same old, same old. Now, again, of course, you're not coming up with new plays every week. You go with what's working. But I would like to see some creativity out of Fichtner from time to time when it is a 3rd and 2 or a 1st and 8, or 1st and 5 or 2nd and 7, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a couple more things that we haven't seen before. You know, every now and then you got to throw some sprinkle in there. I mean, Kansas City does a great job with doing stuff like that. So I just want to see Fichtner get a little more creative at times when the offense seems to be sputtering a little bit. That's all I'm saying. But like I said, of course, I don't know the exact play call. But again, if you watch the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, you start recognizing the plays yourself, right? So that's what I was saying. But I definitely understand my man's point by saying, look, you got to, you know, take your own advice. We don't know what the coaches are doing. We're not in the meeting rooms. We're not on the practice field. And let's nip this in the bud, guys. Let's not act like our coaching staff is not capable. These guys know what they're doing. The question comes, is what you're doing working anymore? So I will agree with you guys with Butler. Maybe, I don't know. If we are to find out that the system is simplified for the players, that's a player problem for sure, because we need smarter guys. If Butler just refuses to get out of the system that he's accustomed to, then that's a Butler problem. You know, maybe we need to start thinking about doing different things in certain situations. Maybe more man at certain times versus the predictable, oh, the Steelers are going to run zone in this situation because X, Y, and Z. So it's little stuff like that. We'll see. All I know is that it has to change, and it has to change very soon. Okay? Now let's see what you guys got, man. See what you guys got, man. We had 36 minutes. Good God almighty. Why y'all let me talk so much, man? Blabbermouth. All right, so let's see what we got, man. We get a couple things rolling in here. And like I said earlier, I think I said this, and if I didn't, let me say it now. I think, guys, I think I'm going to shoot for 7:30. 7:30 seems to be a closer mark. And like tonight, we started at 7:31-ish. I think that's going to be easier for me to meet instead of 7. So let's go ahead and start saying that we'll probably do this show at 7:30 each and every Tuesday. So we'll stick with that. What up, good people, man? The regulars, my brother Tony in the building. Debbie J, how you doing, Debbie? Kenyon is in the building. Still a gang in the building. Matt Banu, Adam Worthy, Ali Howard. A couple of you guys I've definitely recognized. Champagne Poppy, Rolling Young. And we'll start with that one. Roland. I said Rolling. Roland Young says, man, wouldn't be a complete day without some Steeler drama. I tell you, brother. It's crazy. Steeler Cards, what's up, man? Steeler Cards says, honestly, the Steelers are in the news for bad, never the good. That's very, very true. You're very, very right about that. Kenya says, here's the problem. AB has blown up before, and you know what? When did drama always seem to pop up at all times? Good question there, brother. Good question there. Let's see. What else y'all got? Champagne says, yeah, Mike needs an in-house meeting and not say anything to the media. Oh, guys, how could I forget this? I got to say this. Another coaching error. I should have put it in the footage and I didn't. Here's another thing. See, some people think I don't get on the coaches. Even though I like Tomlin, I got to call them out. What is with clock management? I don't understand it. Now, here's the thing. I can't beat him up about the onside kick. I probably would have done it for the same reason that he didn't do it. So let's be fair. There's no right and wrong answer there. However, listen to the Terrible Podcast with Dave and Dave. They made a great point. Dave Bryant said, here's the thing. If you kick an onside, because them two were split. You know, one of them said, I understand kicking it. And the other one was like, nah, this is why you do the onside. The onside kick gives you another chance at getting the ball. You still have 3 timeouts in the bank. Yeah, you put them closer downfield. But Dave Bryant was making the point that it gives you another opportunity to possibly get the ball. He's absolutely right with that. But I understand Tomlin's logic saying, nah, man, 2 minutes left, 3 timeouts. We need to make a stop. Okay? And had we made the stop, I don't think nobody talks about it. But what happens? Steelers give up a 9-yard run after being passed on all day. When they know what the run is happening, they give up 9 yards on the first down and give up a first down. Game is over pretty much. Okay? Here's another part. Clock management. When we got the ball, it was 5 minutes and 5 minutes and something left. Why did it take us so? We just took our casual sweet time going down the field. There was no urgency. Come on, man. I mean, I know Ben probably felt like he was in a rhythm, but bruh, can we speed it up? Because guess what happens? If you get in the end zone faster, even the timeout situation and giving up a first down, it doesn't hurt you as bad. Let's say we give them the ball back at 3 minutes. That changes everything. Because guess what? They get a first down. They get the 2nd and 1. We then have 4 timeouts because you have the 2-minute warning in your pocket. That's my biggest gripe and the biggest criticism I could have about Mike Tomlin is it does seem like we've been in too many situations where there was a clock management situation. Last year against the Patriots, we heard the audio come out, so we can excuse Tomlin slightly for that one when he was like, have a play ready. He told Todd Haley that. And everybody was trying to dump it on Tomlin, but you heard him say in the audio, have a play ready in case da-da-da-da-da. But even if you excuse that one, there have been too many times as a collective, as a team, whoever's in the booth, whatever, clock management is a problem. That's coaching. Okay? So I need them to tighten that up. Again, I'm not at the point where I feel like Tomlin needs to be fired. I absolutely don't believe that. It's just, again, I'm not even going there no more, but just to end it, nip it in the bud here tonight, he has not done anything for me to feel like his job needs to be taken. Even if, I'll give y'all one better. We go 2-14 this year, I still don't think the man should be fired. How about that? Because of his track record. You got to give me more than one bad season for me to kick you out the door. Because it ain't always green on the other side. Let's keep it a buck. Who should be up for question, though? Yeah, it's probably time for Keith Butler we might need to reconsider a couple things, or at least bring somebody else in, another piece like they did with Bradley, because I think we need to start doing more hybrid type situations. Okay, we need to be more unpredictable on defense than we are predictable. My 2 cents. Let's see. Robert Westover. I don't know if I've ever seen your name before. I appreciate you coming through. And if you have, if you have before, I'm sorry for not remembering. Steelers need to buck up on defense. It's been a pitiful since the Jacksonville game last year. I give you my hat and hand it to you on that one. Absolutely right. Let's see. Yeah, Debbie and Kenyon, I agree, man. It's too many me's, man. And it's funny because it ain't too many. It seems like it's always, we always talking about AB or, Antonio Brown, same guy, right? Or Le'Veon Bell having a few antics. There's never really anybody else. So that's why, again, I don't feel like Tomlin has lost the locker room. That's hogwash. Mariano Papa says, what up, Sim? Have you seen Speak for Yourself? Not a fan of Whitlock, but Marcellus Wiley had some good points about Coach Tomlin. I might check it out, but I'm going to be honest with you. I can't do Jason Whitlock, man. I'm going to leave it at that. I ain't going to dive into all of that, but I just can't. Nah. I can't rock with old boy. I can't support anything he does. Some of y'all might know why, but we're going to just leave that for something else. Josh Schermeyer says, I think Marcus Allen should see the field more. Possibly, man, but we don't know where he is in terms of development. Right now, I'm thinking Marcus Allen's more so suited to help out against the run. He didn't look great. He didn't look bad in preseason against the pass. He did get an interception, which was kind of a layup. But I don't know if he's developed enough. But I would be willing to try some things. Coaches, can we get more of the dollar type stuff that y'all was supposedly working on? When it's obvious that the team is killing you with the pass, make them make you come out of pass defense. That's probably my biggest thing. Defenses and offenses are always going to be like this. It's a chess match. But when we saw how easy they were passing the ball, man, put your cards on the table and say, put out the pass defense. Whatever. They run the ball and they get us one time, then we'll go back to mix and matching. But right now, we need to stop that pass. I need to see more situations where all of the safeties, not only are they all on the field, but I need to see a safety playing like a nickel backer that can help cover the middle. Because, listen, poor Bostic, man, he did what he could do. We can't expect him to be able to run like Ryan Shazier. It ain't going to happen. But like I said, man, let's try something else. Maybe Matthew Thomas, with a little more speed, a little more height. Because there was one ball that Mahomes threw over Bostic, and it was pretty decent coverage. He just threw it right over him. So, I don't know. We just definitely need to get it going. Not panicking, guys. It's week 2, but I will say I don't like what I see. I don't like what I see so far. I really don't. Let's see. What else y'all got, man? I'm going to get out of here soon. Naive says, I heard it secondhand from someone I trust who heard it from witnesses. Those witnesses were police security at the facility. Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Everybody want to be a part of something, man. Roland Young says, the one game I remember we adjusted was when we played the Broncos and they were destroying our defense in the first half. And in the second half, we adjusted and shut them out to come back and win. Yeah, that was when your boy was starting, right? The big, tall cat. Osweiler, and we did come back. And that's what I'm saying. We've seen this story before. We've seen it. I mean, however people feel about the coaching staff, whatever, we've seen this story before. I think I'm going to go ahead and say this before my boy Tony even gets to it. I know that's how Tony feels. I am tired of seeing this story. Can I see a different story? The only comfort I get from seeing the same story is I know that it can change. But I just don't like what I'm seeing early. Now, let me address this really quick too. Maybe Joe Hayden being out there would have helped. Not necessarily the way that we were getting, looking at the time. Oh, wow, guys, we're almost at 50 minutes. Not so much the way we were getting beat, but Joe Hayden may have been able to allow us to get more people on the field that are more defensive back. I don't know. But let me speed this up, guys. I gotta go, man. Y'all got me out here, man. Man Miller says we just need a win to kill all the noise. Absolutely. Fully agree with that. Yeah, and Stillberg, you're right. We were running some Tampa too. I think some of that I showed in the footage. We definitely was running some cover two, like that last one I showed. Not the last one, but I think it was the second touchdown. And again, you saw clearly where the corners were playing up, playing like that flat area. I don't know if they were doing like a soft squat or, it was kind of intermediate. It didn't look like hard flat or anything like that. Safety over the top. Williams, a lot of times they weren't getting enough depth on their drop. And also, you got to reroute. You got to throw Kelsey off. It's a timing game, guys. Football is like that. It's timing. 2-3 seconds. All you got to do is adjust. Make people get off of their spot for a minute. And that can help. And pressure. We didn't get enough consistent pressure. However, there were a lot of times when Mahomes was getting rid of it. But still, we just didn't get the pressure necessary. But yeah, man, the cover two is tricky. I mean, it works in certain situations, but a team know how to dime it up if you don't execute it properly, and if guys don't do some improv. Yeah, Kenyon, right on, brother. He said the Chiefs broke down the coverage by running those two post routes at the same time. Come on, man. Like I said, what was very telling was that back-to-back empty set where they ran the same play, and how ironic, we run the same blitz, and they had the mind enough to say, all right, we see a mismatch. This time, let's hold the outside guys so the corners will stay, and we're going to get that matchup against TJ Watt, and I'd be darned if they didn't get it, and that was another touchdown. Mahomes' arm was too good in that situation. He overthrew it. Crazy. But all right, man, let me run, guys. I'm gonna get down here to the bottom and read a few more. Let's see. Still a gang. Mike Tomlin might oversee all the plays and everything, but that's how the Steelers organization are. The Rooneys don't step on Tomlin's feet as he should do on the field, and Tomlin allows. You know what? I heard today in the press conference, Tomlin said himself that he doesn't call defensive plays in certain situations. We've heard this from Mike Tomlin. Has Mike Tomlin not told us, listen, I expect my coaches to coach. I let them do their jobs. Now, obviously, guys, we've watched games where Tomlin has come in and vetoed stuff. We've seen that. But I think it was very telling, just like I said last year, with some of them offensive plays. That was Haley. Tomlin he respects his coaches to coach. He brings them in to coach. He manages. So, but we got to rely on a guy like Butler. And Butler might not be calling the right plays at the right time is all I'm saying. And listen, in my opinion, I think that's how it should be. That's just my opinion. I think the staff, you should allow your staff to work. If I'm the one that's got to not oversee, but I got to make all the calls, what I need coaches for? So I've always said that about the Steelers, and especially the Tomlin way. He brings in guys that he feels can do the job, and he allows them to coach. And if necessary, if there's certain scenarios he needs to take over, he does. But he said it very clearly in his conference today. Look, nah, I don't. I think they asked him, do you make the defensive calls on down and distance or something like that? And he was like, no. I ain't got no problem with that. Some people might, but again, if that's the case, then what do he need coaches for if we're expecting the head coach at any organization? If we're expecting the head coach to make every play and every call, what do they need a staff for? All right, so let's go ahead and get out of here, man. All right, man, so that's it, man. I'm going to read two more from some people who haven't said anything, then I'm going to be done. Lockdown 3000 says it was pretty hot out there. Maybe that's the reason the defense wasn't playing that good. Maybe. I mean, because the Chiefs defense was gassed too, but still, it's no excuse, man. It's no excuse. Speak on it, Kenya. Speak on it. I ain't even gonna read it. Y'all read it for yourself. That's my whole point, guys. When I say you can't always blame him. Now, coaching as across the board, yeah, we probably should start raising our eyebrows at Butler a little bit. We'll see if things get fixed. Because again, I still feel like communication is a problem on field and off field. Even though, and listen, I don't know how much we could take from this. I know James Harrison said that there were times where there were more than one defensive call coming in. That's a problem. That's defensive coaching staff. Y'all remember it was a play where you saw them run LT Wharton out there late. What's up with that? That's another thing I'm upset about with the coaching. We've seen a lot of times where guys are being penalized or they're late to the spot. Like, what's up? And that special teams play with Stephen Ridley. Steelers Depot got footage out there, and I saw it today myself on the R22, where one player is telling Ridley to come up, the other player is telling him to go back. That's on Danny Smith. That's coaching right there. However, Danny Smith has designed a great pressure package in terms of punts. Y'all remember the time when we used to never get pressure? We this close from blocking that punt, man. That could have changed things around, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's all we can say now. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. I appreciate all of y'all. Great crowd tonight, man. Look forward to the next post game, which will be a late one, but we're gonna get that done on Monday. I'm gonna have everything set up and ready to go once the game is done, and we'll make it happen like that. Kenyon and Tony, hopefully we can get you guys on, and then a few more of you guys. Like I said, follow me on Twitter, man, to kind of keep up with what I'm doing in terms of announcements. And what I might start doing, guys, I need to start, doing more things with my website. I know it's more slated for game and stuff now, but instead of making you guys create Twitter accounts, I may start just putting announcements on there for you guys that don't really do social media. There's a place where you'll be able to go check, maybe start updating that. But I got to put the onus on me to stay up with it, because it's really more like a blog post now. But I was going to say, just keep an eye out. I'll let you guys know whether we're going to do Skype or Discord, but I will lock that down by at least Thursday, get you guys on Monday night, and look forward for how many other guys that might want to call in just to give their quick reactions to the game, whether we win or lose. In order to win, we're going to have to be sound against the pass. That's all I can say at this point. Ben Roethlisberger, slow start, but balled out in the game. We getting contributions from AB, but Juju and Jesse James. Offense seems to be somewhat in order. I'm worrying about the pass defense against Fitzpatrick. That's all I'm worrying about. If that is not in control, we're probably going to be sitting at 0-2-1. All right, man, I'm out of here for real this time. Love you guys, man. Appreciate it, and look forward to talking to each and every one of you guys on Monday for the post-game show, and then following that Tuesday for Terrible Towel Tuesday. All right, so y'all be good. Have a good one. Have a good night, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.